Hey there, Dream Chasers. This is Hannah Pryde, and welcome to Pryde and Shine, the podcast where we explore the innovators and influencers of Dubai. Proudly sponsored by Pryde Migration, your dedicated partner to make Dubai your reality. Welcome to the show, Adam. How are we?
I'm very good, very good. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. So for people that don't know, Adam is the owner and founder of PwrdMedia and PwrdUniversity, which is a business based in Dubai and in Marbella in the UK?
Based in Dubai and also Ireland, actually.
So based in Ireland, Marbella, and Dubai. So what actually brought you over to Dubai in the first place? When did you move?
So I actually moved to early 2020, which is nearly 5 years ago. I was in Ireland and I just had my business up off the ground. It was going good. So I had like a bit of money for the first time, moved into my dream apartment, and I was like there for a couple of weeks, and I was like, what do I do now? So I got a little bit of cold feet there and I moved to Spain. I moved to Madrid, and then I hated Madrid, went to Valencia, hated Valencia, and then someone texted me and said, why don't you come to Marbella? Yeah. So I went to Marbella, lived there. I went to Marbella that was supposed to be a 3-week trip. I was there for 3 years.
Really? You never left at all?
Well, I left 1 or 2 trips back home, but wow. I was there in Marbella so I was based there for 3 years. And then because everyone in Dubai goes to Marbella in the summertime when it gets too hot, so I just had so many friends in Dubai, and everyone was like, why don't you come move to Dubai? And I was thinking about it for a while, and I just said, yeah, let's go, let's make it happen. So moved to Dubai. That was July 22, so like 2.5 years ago. So over the past 5 years, I've been half Dubai, half Marbella. Yeah.
And what is your biggest comparable from Marbella to Dubai? Because so many people now, I'm like yourself, I came from Ibiza to Dubai. Everyone came. I used to hate Dubai before I moved. Now I'm obsessed with it. But I'm the same as you. Most people from Spain comes to the Middle East in their winters to get that double summer. But what are you seeing now? Is you still do your summers at Marbella into Dubai? What do you see as the biggest comparables?
Yes, I still have my place in Marbella now, and I'm gonna potentially look at that being my long-term base. But in regards to comparables, it's different times of the year. Obviously, the whole European summer in Marbella is the best thing ever for being there. And then the winter is obviously, the weather's not so great, so it's better to be here in the winter. But in regards to outside of the weather, I feel like my life is a lot more calm and relaxed and just slow living in Marbella, where I can work for a few hours of the day and I can have a good life and I can be a little more chilled. Then when I get too comfortable, I got to get back to Dubai and get back into 10-12 hour days to build the next phase. So I like the comparison of regards to going to Marbella to think, slow down, reflect, and then come back to Dubai and build whatever I had been envisioning for this time. So I don't know. It's hard to see my favourite, but I think it's swaying towards Marbella.
Yeah, everyone says that, and I think people forget because Dubai is such a fast-paced place, and everyone's always striving for better. It's sometimes good to put yourself into a slow environment to be able to reflect and realise what you've got. Because here you kind of forget the envision, and before you know it, a week's gone, and you're still in that hamster wheel gasping for breath. So it's amazing. And how do you find when you're in Marbella? I guess touch on it a little bit. How do you find the networking there? Is it the same people that go to Dubai in summer, or do you end up connecting with different people?
Yeah, well, it's so funny. When I came back 2-3 weeks ago, I left Marbella and came back to Dubai, and I just see the same people in the gym. So we
Matrix is wrong.
Yeah, so we laugh and joke about that. It is a lot of the same people, but obviously there's overlap. There's obviously overlap, but there's a lot of different networking things. In Marbella, there's so many people coming in for a week, coming in for 2 weeks, coming in for 3 weeks. So you just don't know who you could meet. And then similar in Dubai in the winter time. But I suppose networking purposes, they're both the best places in the world, in my opinion. Outside of London, I've never been to the US. Trump, just before I walked in there, Trump got confirmed, so I'm definitely going to make my way over there. But I think Dubai and Marbella are our two best networking places in outside of the US.
It's crazy, isn't it? People that are based in the business, it's like the business, people that are based in the business in Dubai, it's weird how we all kind of thrive in places that we can still connect with people and be around like-minded. I know for someone like you and all the podcasts you've done, you're so big on like manifestation and Bob Proctor, the writer of The Secret and everything. Are you big now on places you go in the world? You've said you're not been to America, as being around people that are like-minded like you?
Yeah, because they just recharge me, and it's like that's how you get ahead. Is like, 'cause what I always say is like, you don't know what you don't know. And when I spend time with someone who's way more successful than me, I don't know how he operates. I don't even know what I'm missing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even know what questions to ask or whatever. And it's just the energy rubs off, and it helps you think different. Then you activate a deeper level of critical thinking, and you start to just move in the right direction. So for certain mentors, like online or in person, it's something that I'm always looking to be around and spend as much time as possible with.
Of course. And you know, the thing is, you having your own PwrdUniversity, University, it just shows that you reap what you sow, because you've just said there that you're still looking for mentors and you're still looking for people to help you. So you're offering a service when you've got even more knowledge, because you're still paying for other people's service to give you the knowledge.
Exactly. I have so many mentors, and some of my best friends are my mentors, like, you know, and some of my best friends are my mentors. So just spending time with them, I'll just unlock something I didn't even know I needed, and then I'll pass that on. And like what Bob Proctor says, he says like, what's not growing is dying.
Yeah.
So the second you say, oh no, I'm good, I don't need to do any more, I don't need to read any more books, don't need to research, don't need to get better at anything, that's the moment you slowly start to deteriorate. So I'm just never going to allow that to happen.
No, you shouldn't at all. And I think we were laughing before this about saying The Secret is the Bible. You just have to keep reading it, and every time you read it, you learn something new. What's been the best mentor, not like an individual, but what have you seen as like the best area of your self-development that's helped you get unlocked to the next level?
The best area, I think it's like when Bob Proctor teaches how to set goals correctly. You set a goal that you don't know how, like it's so far out of your thinking and experience to date that the person you become to achieve the goal is more important than the outcome of the goal. So you almost commit to becoming that next version of yourself constantly. Like I say every week, how do I become 2.0 version of myself this week? Yeah. And I like constantly becoming better at what you're doing, or a better performer, so that your results then combat. So the lesson in that is focus on being the person rather than focus on getting the thing. Like, don't focus on how to get $1 million. Focus on how to become a millionaire, and the result of being that is $1 million. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I completely get what you're saying. I mean, like, I'm sure yourself, if you're into all this, and I feel like it is like in Dubai, everyone's into it. It's not. If you go to UK, people are like, what are you speaking about? This is gibberish. But you come to Dubai.
You should go to Ireland.
Yeah, really. Is Ireland even... I can imagine. But over here, people get it. Like, there's so many opportunities in Dubai to go meet the people that write these books, whether it be negotiation, whether it be mindset, whether it be anything. There is something on every week. But it's crazy to think that we're all around people that all do it. So it's like us speaking this is normal, but it's probably someone listening is like, what are you talking about? Like, why would you write something if you don't know how to achieve it? It's so out of the water.
Exactly. And that's like, I know how to relate, and I don't take any, like, whenever I get a comment or something like that, I don't take it because I used to be the person giving the comments. Like, I know where they're coming from. Like, I used to be that guy, you know what I mean? I used to like, if I saw someone reading a book in school, I would be like, why are you reading? Like, I would be like, what are you doing? Why are you, like, when I ordered my first ever book, I actually came from Amazon, and I ran out to collect the delivery and hide it from my mother and my sister, because they just would never believe that Adam is someone who would read a book. Yeah. What
was your first book?
My first book was The Secret.
Really? And what was the turning point? Like, why did it make you buy it? What did you read, or what did you watch that was like, I want to read that?
Because 8 years ago, when I walked out of my last ever job, I was standing next to a guy, and he kept talking about it. And he kept talking about this book, and he was like, you know, his mother read that book like 10 years, 12 years before, and she just visualized this apartment in Spain or Lanzarote or something like that. And I was like, and he's like, this guy's talking so much shit. I was like, I don't know if I can curse on here, I'm sorry.
It's fine, you can. All goes in my podcast.
And, I said, this guy's talking so much. I'm like, I'm going to prove him. I'm going to come back to work tomorrow and show him that this is loads of bullshit. So I came in, like, I came home that day, I wrote into YouTube, law of attraction, bullshit. The Secret is fake. And I went out on a journey to prove him wrong, and I failed. And then I started to believe it, and it was like, then it's just you incorporate it, just go deeper and deeper and deeper, and like, you know, I'm still. I said to people, like, I spent $150,000 with Bob Proctor alone, and I only know 1% of the information. Like, it's just so, yeah, it's so much and so deep that, like, the human potential is just such a never ending rocket that
it's wild. I mean, when you realize how small we are, when you really look at the bigger picture, I mean, it seems like we're going to be sitting in a party right now if we're going into this conversation, but we are tiny little atoms of energy when you go into space and the universe and out and out and out. And that's when people say, or will say to you as well, and I don't believe what you're saying, like, why would you have a vision board? Why would you have these wild goals? How are you going to get to them? But when you look at the scale of how big everything is and how much has been undiscovered, you can see why it clicks. It's just a mental shift. And you said something there that you had such determination that you wanted to prove someone wrong. So if you just turned that was obviously like a bad energy within you, like a flick that you're like, I want to show you wrong. You've obviously flipped that and shown now you want to take that determination to prove someone wrong, to prove to these billion people that you want to educate that this is right. And it just shows you've always had an underlying determination. Where do you think that came from?
Yeah, so I've always had, so what I say, the reason that I'm so passionate about my university, right, is because I have always had the potential, right? Because I know, because if I tried in sports, or if I tried in a project in school, like, I can be at the top of the class in 72 hours. Like, teachers would call my parents and, like, Adam he catches up with everybody in 3 days that they're working for 6 weeks. Like, he like, why doesn't he do it? So for me, it was like, I always knew I had potential, but the problem is that unfulfilled potential in you equals, like, destructive behavior. So when I'm sitting in the classroom and I'm uninterested in what they're telling me, and I have potential that needs to be expressed, it needs to come out, that's when I throw something at the whiteboard and get in trouble. Or that's when I get kicked out of school or get sent home or call my mother, or whatever the case may be, because I don't know how to express my potential. So I always knew I had the potential, and now I'm saying to people, okay, you're unhappy in your career path, it's because you have more potential and it's not being expressed, it's not being fulfilled, right? And the opposite of expression is suppression, which is another word for depression. So you literally end up suppressing yourself and you eventually become depressed, right? And that was happening to me at 19, 20. Like, I could start to feel it. So I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, if I can just find something to put it into, then that would allow me to express and build something, right? So I knew I had potential, so I just needed to figure out an avenue to express it. And then when that came, it was there. So that I turned all that destructive behavior into constructive behavior, or into just, it manifested into something. The second I just decided to let it flow through me and evolve into something, that's when I was able to you know, wake up before my alarm at 5 a.m. and get working. Because
it's like a mental shift.
Exactly, because you have an avenue to, or a vehicle. People just lack the vehicle. People just lack the vehicle, and then they wonder why they're stuck or unhappy in life. It's just, you just need a vehicle to come into, because school and college is just not a vehicle for everybody.
No, it's not. It's book smart, and the thing is, like, I think me and you are probably very alike, and most people on this podcast, we're all very alike. I'm not book smart at all, but I'm very much common sense smart, and I'm very much, probably down to dyslexia, putting part together the puzzle. And I think most people I have interviewed, if not all, have ADHD, dyslexia, some type of genuinely a mismap in the brain. But everyone does, and that's how we look at stuff differently. So if you're maybe sitting in a 9 to 5 getting told to read books, and if you aren't able to read this book or understand comprehension, or you don't want to do it, I think it's more you don't want to do it because you're not uninterested, you don't want to waste the brain power on it, they deem you as unsmart, or you're not going to get anywhere. But realistically, I always think these people that have been able to distract everyone in class and still been able to pass the class and do everything else, they're actually very good at managing people and playing mind games, which can be put into such good utilisation in later life when running a business. Because at the end of the day, you're not just doing one thing, which could be if you're doing, let's say, employed by someone in Dubai, and you've got a 9 to 5 job and you have 5 roles, and that's the roles that you're covered. If you're an entrepreneur like yourself, you need to be able to do everything back to 4 before you even outsource it, because any entrepreneur doesn't have money at the start.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have to be like, what are we all doing today? Let's have a mix-up and let's not stick to one thing. So it's interesting. How did you get into your agency? Well, you're obviously quite creative, because marketing agencies, any type of agency is always quite creative. What got you in there?
So how did I get into it? started reading The Secret, and then I was saying, like, I just started realizing that there's more to the world. I just started thinking, like, deeply, and then after I was reading that, I started coming across people like the Joe Rogans of the world, and like I just started accumulating all this information. Then I got fired from that same job on a Friday, like 4 days before Christmas. Literally, I was packing my bags to come home for Christmas, and they brought me into the office after with a determination of employment contract.
Hope you got a good payout. It's Christmas.
I got my last paycheck, and that was it. So
did they even give you a little Christmas bonus?
No, zero.
Bloody hell!
No. But I got fired for entertaining and distracting too many people.
Classic.
So just being uninterested and just having to a different expression. I would just express by finding a funny YouTube video on my break and then showing everybody around the place during the work hours.
I mean, do you know what though? At the end of the day, when people like yourself do that, and I think it's interesting, you always have to be put down to like, shit. If you'd just been, let's say, fired on a random Thursday in February or Friday in February, but it's fine, it's February. But it was 4 days before Christmas, like it hurt a little bit more. You kind of got knocked down a few levels that sometimes I always say you have to be kicked in the balls, or you have to be put down a few levels to then be like, right, I'm going to bloody do it. Like, I need it more. Whereas if it was just a random day, it probably wouldn't have hurt that much, but I'll get another job.
Exactly. That's a very good point, because sometimes it's almost in the middle you got the golden handcuffs, where it's not that bad, where it has sometimes you're actually more happy that it's worse than it is 100%. Because you kick into gear a lot faster. But anyway, I got my last paycheck, and I've been watching this guy called Ty Lopez. Okay. Anyone who's in my world would know who he is, but he done a big switch for me. So I failed school, like the worst that possibly. I got the lowest grades out of 180 people in my whole. Amazing!
What a great time they'll remember you.
Yeah. So I couldn't have failed worse. But the problem is that what he done for me is, like, school is just like push. Read this, or you won't go to college. I was like, I didn't even want to go to college anyway, because I could never find a vehicle, like I said, right? Then Ty Lopez says, here's my beautiful cars, here's my beautiful family, here's me retiring my mother, here's me doing all this stuff, right? I got this from reading these books. So now straight away the switch happened. Because school was trying to push. Ty was like, he was pulling me. He was like,
he's like, I've achieved this, you can achieve it too.
Exactly. He had the vehicle and the result that I desired as a man. And he said he was showcasing that bridging the gap to get there was through the knowledge of these books that he read. So straight away I had the desire to read the books. Whereas school, they don't give you the reward; they just push. It's almost,
they just tell you. And I think
someone
exactly. And I think someone as an entrepreneur, you have to want it hard enough. Because some people that don't realise being an entrepreneur, that, oh well, you don't get 9 to 5 and it's sick and it's cool. No, it's not. It's so much more stress. There's so many other little things you don't think about that. For yourself, taking that leap of faith and going to listen to time, but well, that's what I want. I bet there was a lot of late nights, all-nighters, stresses, tears and everything in between that people don't see, but you wanted the desire of what he was providing so much that there was like the subconscious was like, no, you can do it, keep at it.
Yeah, so the vision was just there in my mind. Like, this was like back in 2017, starting an online agency in Ireland was just so like, it was like speaking Chinese. Like, it was just so, people were just like a couple of times my father kind of came up to me and he was like, are you okay? Like, you know, he was like, is everything good? Because I didn't have a job. I was up here on my laptop, a broken laptop, all day long.
Probably thought you had a bad habit.
Yeah, I know. But he thought I was playing video games.
Yeah.
He thought I was playing video games. Like, there's definitely productivity was happening, right? So he thought I was playing video games, but he thought I was like just playing video games, messing around all day. But I was actually work. Like, he just didn't know. Back in 2016, they just didn't know that you can work.
Was it not still like a thick computer? But they weren't even like proper MacBooks that they are now.
No, it wasn't a MacBook. No, this was like a fucking.
That's what I'm saying. The computers were quite thick still then. Like, I remember them being quite heavy.
Yeah.
It wasn't something you could just chuck in.
Yeah. Well, it was how I got, when you said I got fired there on a Friday.
Stole the laptop.
No. It should have though. I'm sure. But when I got fired on a Friday, I got paid. I think I was getting paid like €1,900 a month. It was like $450 a week or something. So I took that 1,900. I gave Ty Lopez 1,000, and I had like say €900 left. And then I went to I met some Polish guy in a fucking, a warehouse in the back of nowhere, and he sold me this broken laptop for like £250.
Amazing, what a bargain.
Bargain, yeah. So it sounded, when he turned it on, it sounded like a hairdryer was coming out. So
good background noise, white noise to keep you moving.
And it took like 15 minutes to come on. So I would like open the laptop, turn it on, go to the gym, come back, and then I'm ready to work. So and then I just started working from there. Like just started learning and working, and I just believed in it. That's all. Like, what
was your first client? Because I know that people that maybe don't know you personally, it took you 6 months to get your first client. What was like if you had spent, and it's going back to, and we've spoken about so many times on this podcast, you have to speculate to accumulate. So you speculated so much. You've got, let's say, €600 left to live on, and you've only not closed a deal for 6 months. Yeah. What the hell? What happened? Like, what did you do?
Yeah, so I was just going out to a local bar at the end of where my father lives, back in the north side in Cork City, and I was just like, can I work? And he was like, right, he gave me like €9 an hour, which is like probably £750. Yeah. And he's like, come in like Thursday and Saturday. So at the end of the week, he would give me like, I don't know, €110. Yeah. And that would just be like, that would just pay for like softwares and stuff. But I'd be honest, since I was a kid, I was cutting grass, I wash cars, like I'll hustle, I'll do whatever I want, like the work ethic is never a problem for me. I'll never, even though I had an income back then, I'd never had in my whole life, I've never had a shortage of finances, because I will do something.
You know how to make money at the end of the day.
I'll make money any way, shape or form. Like I will cut grass, wash cars, I'll do anything, right? I
think that's how you have to be, especially being at the start of an entrepreneur. I know with my journey, and it's not one I've actually spoken about, I used to do anything, like not in that way, but like back home, I wanted an internship so badly, and I didn't get paid for that. I ended up working 7 days a week for 12 weeks and running myself into the ground just to get paid on those 2 days. But the experience and everything, so I can resonate with that so deeply, because I think a lot of people think you come in, you close your first deal, and you go. They don't realise that it's up, down, sideways, back, forward, 10 step backs, 2 step forwards all the time.
It's a very hard journey for sure.
Yeah. And what was the first thing Ty taught you that you implemented into your business to then accumulate that first client?
I suppose Ty just taught me how to do the thing. Like he just taught me how to do the thing.
And what is the thing? For someone that doesn't, like, what is that thing that you taught you?
The thing back then was just running Facebook and Google Ads.
All right, okay, so Facebook would have been fresh.
Oh yeah, very, very fresh. Like half the battle, half the battle back then was just convincing people that they should. Now people know they need to. Now people are already sold that they should. They just need to choose the who. Yeah. Who's going to do it for me? Is it you or is it him? Whereas back then it's like you have to convince them for weeks and weeks that you should put money into Facebook. And
you were in such a pivotal time, because if you look at all the brands that did take that leap, like Gymshark, Loungewear, all these people, because that was when they got into it. Most people started getting into online branding, let's say COVID, and that's when the wave had gone. I chase it, like, I call it the crypto wave. People in COVID decided they want to invest in crypto. The wave had already gone. You were trying to catch a wave that passed. And same with marketing now. These guys were growing with the online media phase that you were selling at the time. So you're one of the probably rare marketeers that are still got their agency that is still growing with it, because most people gave up. Most people like, it's too hard. So you've seen the full journey.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur in this thing, in this world.
You're writing your own books now.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm doing this since it was a thing. Like in 2016, doing this like is not a thing. It's like no one had. If you write into YouTube right now, start an agency, there'd be 40 gurus. Like. Even though I don't have much on there, but like I'm doing this since before anyone was doing it.
And who was your first client?
So my first client was a barbershop.
Amazing.
A barbershop, yeah. And I just made my friends my sales team, because I said to people were like, why is Adam not coming to the parties on Saturday anymore? Why is Adam not coming to the messing around the place or whatever? And I would say, I'm doing this internet marketing thing in my bedroom. It's going to be big. It's going to work. And they were all like, thought it was a bit crazy, right? Which I probably was. But I was saying to them, okay, if you connect me with your boss or a business owner or a manager, I'll give you 50% of the first thing. And they were like, so all I have to do, I was like, yeah, just connect me. And I do. So he connected me to a barbershop. And they were like, okay, yeah, let's give it a try. And then we done a great job for them. And then just had 4 or 5 clients, and then around a year, maybe just a little over a year from getting fired on a Friday, I had 4 clients that were replacing my salary in this thing. With that was like back in 2016. That was like my fucking That was
your goal.
That was my life. That was not just my 20s. That was my lifelong goal, was to get a salary from a laptop. Like, I couldn't even fathom, like, I couldn't even like put that into words at the time. Like, that's in Ireland. Like, I never saw anything like that happen before.
And to be honest, I don't think most people had. And now I see, especially during COVID, and I think a lot of the older generation now understand like a nomad working life and how to run a business. But it's definitely a lot harder now to get into it. Although it's easy now to, and I say it to everyone, it's the easiest it's ever been in the whole entire world to learn something. You've got your university, you've connected with so many other content creators and people that want to help you, like mentors. I've been able to do it. If people don't want to sign up for your university, PwrdUniversity, they're lazy. They don't want to enough. You speculated to the point that you were on the brink of having no money for 6 months and doing anything because you understood that's what you wanted so badly. Do you think this is now what's brought your core why from growing the agency to now being like, I want to be the next Bob Proctor, and everything, to say like that? Is that where it's all stemmed from?
Yeah, so I just kind of like, maybe the end of like 2022, start to 23, I was just uninspired for like, there was a 6 month pair and I was like, there's something wrong. I was like taking half days and I was just uninspired. Like, the spark that I had for the first like 6-7 years was gone. And I came across a book called Ikigai, however the you said, I don't know, but it's a Japanese teaching about finding your purpose, and like my purpose just changed over time. Like, because at this stage I spent 100k with Bob Proctor, I learned everything that there is that he has to offer. So I downloaded 80 years of his research into my mind, right? Obviously I don't understand as deep as him. I read 50 books and I was helping so many people in my spare time. So I get a DM on Instagram, I would just voice noting everybody back, here, do this, like, you know, people. And I was having calls with people who were like bored, they're like out of mind, suicidal right now.
It's crazy.
Can I give you a call? And I have so many people on my phone that ring me all the time for that type of stuff.
Just shows though you must have something within you, and I know speaking to you, you're very good at connecting with people and you're very good at helping people, whereas a lot of sometimes entrepreneurs and people generally can struggle with that. So you've been able to utilise it now. Yeah,
maybe. I've just been through torture in my life over hard times, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of just, like, because I got out of it, I'm able to kind of like, I've had a very tough time, so I'm able to resonate with people when they come to me, right? So anyway, when I read the book Ikigai, at the end of it gives you, like, goes through like this teaching, right? And you fill out these circles and they all overlap into the middle, and that's your thing. And what in the middle came something that I was not doing. So I was like, my purpose is not helping 20 brands grow in my agency. Like, I'm not really doing, outside of those 20 people and I think we had like 15, 16 staff at that time. I'm like, outside of this little handful of people, I'm not really doing any good to the world, right? I'm not really I'm making great money, I'm financially free, but like... And that's probably all you wanted when you were younger. Exactly. And then you achieved it, and then people are like, I just want financial freedom, but you've realised you wanted a stronger purpose. Yeah, I need to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I need to do something, because I'll just lose my mind if I don't, right? So then I just came across this book, and at the end it pumped out a couple of terms at the end. I was like, that's what I need to do. And then at the end of it, then I was like, I gotta get working. So and then everybody who came to me, I done it for free for the first 6 months. It was all for free. And that's such a big thing that I say to people, and it's great for anyone that's opening a business, listening on this podcast, is you must do stuff for free to figure out. And I always say, get another job, do something aside, but figure out, because if you spend all this money, let's say building an app, publishing a book, setting up a business, but then you go, I don't actually like it, so what's the point in that? I'm like, work for free for a little bit, see how much you want to do it, because at the start it's your baby, and that's when you have to put in as much free hours as you can. Yeah, and you need to love it. Like, the love will come from the purpose. You need to love what you're doing. And I just went down like this pathway of finding purpose in my life. Like, I just gave up alcohol. I tried to learn meditation, and that didn't really go too well. Can't settle your brain. No, I couldn't do it. And I just started journaling. Basically, a couple of my friends was like, just start journaling and just start figuring out. And I just needed the next thing, and I just pieced it all together, and now that's how I got there, you know. So still the agency, it's not as big as it was last year. In fact, I sold 40%. And what made you want to sell 40%? An offer came in for 100%, and then I was like, I couldn't get myself to do it. And I was at the terms. We didn't actually come to an agreement on the terms in the end, but I mentally kind of prepared, and my team kind of knew, like, there's something going on here. so I had to be open and transparent with everybody. Ended up selling 40% and of the assets that we had, and then I just kept the core members of the team, and now some overlap into the university and the agency.
Oh, amazing! So you're kind of giving them good growth as well. I mean, a lot of people I think want to sell their business, but they don't realise it's really hard to sell their business, or they want to grow their business to great scope, which you have done for sure over the last 8 years you had it. But then when they realise that sometimes you grow to a big extent that you actually make more money when it was linear. You didn't have all these overheads and costs, which people forget about. They think all they want is the recognition to be like, oh, we do all of this, but at the end of the day, your profit margin is a lot lower than when you just done.
Yeah, there's diminishing returns at a certain point, and you need to find that. And that's what I said at the start with the vehicle. Like the vehicle that I was getting to in my agency was kind of 18 months of stagnation, and that uninspired me, because I need to grow. Like I need to be productive, I need to be researching. Like I'm a problem solver, like that's what my mother calls me. So I want to be doing something, and in my agency just hit that ceiling. It's diminishing returns after a certain level.
Yeah, of course.
Because I can't manage more than a certain amount of people, and then when I'm managing people, I can't communicate with clients, and it just gets messy. So.
And where did you find the person that came to buy it? Did you find them in Dubai? Did you find them in Marbella? Was it a random person?
No, it was actually a person that is in one of my first ever groups.
Wow, what a big pinch me moment.
Yeah, pinch me moment. So he partnered with like a private equity company, and they're looking to buy up an agency. So he came to me. He actually came to me saying, "Do I know anybody?" And I was like, "Give me the details." And he was like, "Obviously, yours would be the dream." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's have a conversation." And there's no hard feelings, but we just couldn't come to a mutual agreement.
It's crazy, that, isn't it? Yeah. And then with your university, like you obviously have said and stated that your mission is to be able to train 1 billion people and give them the same advice and knowledge that you've been able to do. How are you getting there? Are you going to start doing conferences in Dubai? Like, what is it? What have you started putting into the track?
Yeah, so like what we have right now is just word of mouth right now. Like
it's the strongest referrals.
Yeah, literally. Like we've hit massive milestones. Like it's a seven-figure business now. Like our education business, we have no ads, no conferences, just word of mouth. So the free group that we had, I announced it, and let's say like they were all like, get me in now, and we got working from there with them. And then that they all, like, let's say those 25-30 people, they all told 2 or 3 people to come in, and now we have a large amount of people inside our program. So
it's crazy. And tell me, when you obviously launched it and through word of mouth, have you been able to really streamline and grow your business from being in Dubai? Because we were speaking before, there are so many people in Dubai that have started these online coaches and training, because so many people are now knowledge driven. Everyone I know that's on social media, and we can laugh, Instagram's basically turned into a sales pitch. It's like the new LinkedIn. Everyone's selling, everyone's pushing, everyone's telling them what they're doing. But do you think you've been able to grow it, being based in Dubai and being around all these people that have these types of businesses?
Well, yeah, a lot of people have taught me different ways. A lot of people, my friends, have all given me different nuggets that I didn't even know that I needed, right? But for me, it's like the people who were coming to me for free for so long, I'm just now like, look, I can actually help you inside here. Like, I can really help you in here over 6 months. Yeah. And there's a fee involved, of course, because we're both committed. But like, I can really help you here. And they're like, oh, get me in. I wanted, like, get me in. And like, I send one email, and there's different people who want to come in and stuff. So in regards to like, they've helped me with the structure of it, but then it's like, I never have to, like, I don't do the whole selling thing. I'm like, look, do you want it or not? I'm like, here it is. Yeah. Do you want it?
And it's crazy, isn't it? We've spoken again on the podcast before, like how happy people, and these will be new friends and old friends, how happy people are to share knowledge over here. They want everyone to succeed. They want everyone to do best. And everyone kind of realizes in Dubai that there's so much abundance. Yeah. There's so much that everyone can learn. There's enough business on the market. It doesn't matter who you are. And it's funny, like, I know your friend group and I know other friend groups, that all the fitness influencers together, all the knowledge-based influencers, and you speak to them like, oh, this person told me this, and this is how I've been able to scale it. And it's crazy, because if you're back in Ireland or the UK or anywhere else, they'd be like, no, you don't, you learn yourself. You're
going to be the average of the people. Like, all the cheesy quotes that you hear, all like, they kind of make a little bit of sense, you know, like, you are the average of the people who spend Like that's a true thing, you know. So I do believe that's why Dubai is thriving, is because people are like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my friends who have a very similar business to me will call me, hey, there's a new software, check it out, like go buy this, go do this, like they'll all help me, you know what I mean? So it's you got to have that abundance mindset, because if you don't, when you don't have that abundance mindset, you're kind of saying to yourself, like, there's finite opportunity where there's infinite. There's infinite everything, right? So it's just a bad mindset, and that's why people never really, like, I see people back home and it's like they're not really, they just don't have that mindset, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's an unhealthy thing to.
But if you speak to most people in Dubai, they have read The Secret, they have read multiple books, and it's not just a one-off. Most people that come to Dubai are very, very knowledge-driven, as we've said. Like, they're very much on self-development and helping each other. So I think because we're all on the same energy level and wavelength, it's second nature. You wouldn't not try and help someone, which I find really interesting. And obviously you've got this agency. What's different? What's unique about your university and how to build an agency and giving that opportunity to different generations and people online? What's different about yours?
So mine was different because we just try to do a really good job, right? So we solve very different problems that, like, this comes down to like the offer of your business, right? Which I can talk for hours on, but like,
don't get me excited now.
Yeah, but so like basically our agency just does a kind of a different thing that helps people, right? It's like our agency would kind of, the key word for us is orchestration. So a lot of people are like, I need someone to come in and do our Facebook, Google ads, or content, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, okay, we can do all that, but we have systems to orchestrate everything. So we kind of come in as a partner, and we have systems to manage your data on a daily basis. You get automatic daily reports. You get a touch point from us every 48 hours. You get like really effective market research reports, competitor analysis, all that good stuff, right? So we kind of come in and do orchestration. So we don't really help you, like, growing your business is one thing, but we help you actually orchestrate everything internally. Because if you can, like, focus on acquiring new customers and also keeping the same customers coming back and buying again and building the brand around it, then you don't really have to be always acquiring new customers.
And I think it's important what you said there about touch point, because a lot of people are so out driving, like, need new clients, need to do paid ads, need to do this, speak to someone once, forget about them, and then you call them up 3 months later and like, oh, I've bought, or I've actually ever done it. And it's interesting that you've put the key factor for your sales point is every 48 hours, because a lot of people forget about that. And I'm bad for it myself. Like, I've had to hire someone now because I'm like, gets too influctuated that I'm like, that's a big one that resonates with, I think, most, that you think you need to just keep in touch with everyone.
Exactly, yeah. Actually, I see people like with these massive sales teams, right? And if you're selling a product, it's different. But like, if you're selling a service or something that's like either really big that they buy once a year or something they buy once a month or whatever the case may be, if you just keep the people here, like, retained long enough, your business will always compound in the right direction, right? You don't ever need to continuously have to bring in new people. Like, our agency for the last 2 or 3 years has only taken on 4 clients a year. So we take on 1 client every quarter.
Really?
Some people are sending like 20,000 emails a day, like, or 20,000 emails a week, and they're like 100 million cold calls. They got ads run. They got a million things. Like, we just get 1 or 2 referrals from our current clients, and then they get a fee off there. And
do you know what's really interesting to even hear about that is a lot of people aim, especially on the online agencies and online businesses, they aim to scale super fast, but then they end up, the turnaround falls really fast. Yeah, they have the wrong information. Yeah, it's wrong. Like, you can't physically scale that fast. Like, you know, people who are saying, oh, I took on 10 clients last month. I'm like, you shouldn't be able to take on 10 clients if you're doing it like a done for you. So you're doing the service for them, right? You know, like, if I'm coaching people or if I'm inside our accelerator program, that's a systemized 6 months program. I know exactly what to do with you. I can guide you through everything. It's done with you. Right, we do it together, me and you. It's done with you, right? It's a partnership at the end of the day, and that's what it always should be. Whether you're buying a house, whether you're doing a coaching program, whether you're doing a mentorship, you have to be in it together. You have to both be reading from the same hymn sheet, or you're going to get nowhere. You're going to buy the wrong property. You're going to go to the wrong destination. You're going to learn nothing. Exactly. So, So if you just do that, you'll always have happy clients, right? But when you're like doing a service, let's say if you're
a painter. I just looked at the wall there and saw the paint. I don't know. It just came to mind,
ADHD.
right? Yeah. So I looked at the wall and saw the paint. If I'm a painter and if I paint 2 houses a week, and now all of a sudden I say I took on 10 new houses to paint, the hours don't match up to be able to do like those 10. What I'm saying to my current clients who I'm painting houses, I'm rushing your house now. Like, your house is just a number for me now because I have so many, and I'm going to come in, paint your house, and I'm out. Like, I don't want you to come back and touch up 6 months later, because I'm not putting those seeds in for like, I'm going to be your painting partner. I'm going to come every July.
Do all your houses.
I'm going to come every and every summer and touch up all the corners and buy you a donut in the shop on the way. Like, I don't know, but like, if you do that and you have people always on the back end. And I learned this lesson back in 2021. I did my first ever event in 2021, and a financial guy came in who's our fractional CFO in our business, and he gave an example of like a business that's doing $1 million a year, who they churn 15% of their clients every month, and they go to zero. $1 million business to zero in 7 months.
But you hear that all the time when people acquire businesses and you don't understand the foundations.
Exactly.
You hear it all the time, and you hear it all the time when people scale really, really fast and and they're amazing, and it's like a one-hit wonder because they forget the basics. They forget that they need to be like, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, how is the house, how's the coaching going, have you actually picked up any clients? Like, they forget the little stuff goes a long way because it happens all the time. That's a really mad statistic that obviously changed your life.
So that instilled a fear into me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, if I just have a report every month, and if 15% of our clients leave, I'm like terrified. When I go into fight or flight, I just don't need to sleep for 2 days, and I'll be able to fix something because I think ahead. I'm like, I'm not going to zero in 7 months. I'm not letting that happen. So I'll come in and I'll fix it around somewhere, and I will make sure my current clients are happy
before going out to reach new ones.
Exactly. So I'll make sure that they don't 15% every month to go to zero, because if I go to zero, I'm in Tesco stacking shelves. Like, I got no other skills, and I can't do that. I can't be staying on parents' couches for a couple of months, like, stacking shelves. I just can't do that. So I don't have another option. I have to make something work.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just a fear mechanism pushing.
And when you say this, are you, obviously, if you're taking on smaller amounts of clients, you're obviously, I'm sure, adding a greater value, so you're charging more money. Yeah. How have you, and I want to speak about this because a lot of people get scared about high ticket courses, high ticket anything. Yeah. And I think when people get that mental block round that you should want the more expensive thing, you should want the better quality, you should want that little, it gets you a lot further. Can you explain how you get it, or how you as a business owner decided, right, we're going to charge more? Yeah, so like you gotta be able to communicate your business in different ways, right? So before you meet somebody, you got to be able to verbally communicate it if you're in person, or you've got to be able to be communicating in copy, which is written format. So you've got to be able to communicate in written format or verbally exactly what you do. Post that, then you got to get, when they're interested and they want to learn more, then you got to get visually at what you do. You got to show visually, so take them through a sales deck or a presentation, or like an insights to what you do and why you're different, and why should someone come with you. And it's up to you then to get the real reason why they want to hire you. So, for example, the Facebook ads thing, right? So, Adam, I need someone to do our Facebook ads. I'm like, okay, let's have a meeting. And I have a meeting with them, and I'd say, if you ask why twice, you always get the real answer. So I'd say, okay, why do you want Facebook ads? Oh, I need more traffic to my website by the end of the day. It's urgent. Okay, why do you want more traffic to your website? So I can get new customers, obviously. Okay, why do you want new customers? Okay, more revenue. Okay, so you want more revenue, and Facebook ads isn't you. The mechanism that you want is Facebook ads. It's not the revenue is what you want. The mechanism that you're requesting is Facebook ads. So our business is now built off the end result and not the mechanism. Mm-hmm. The same way
McDonald's is the best in the world because they build their business off the end result, which is happiness, connectivity, family time, and then the mechanism that they have is food, right? The people who get this are the people who really get ahead, right? It's very hard.
The breakdown, because it's a comprehensive breakdown. I completely understand what you're saying, and you're not even saying that McDonald's is the best in the world, like food-wise. You're saying it's the best in the world because it brings connectivity, because the mechanism is food, which at the end of the day, for people that don't understand, they're all sitting around the table and that's all they wanted.
Exactly. So essentially, they're there, right? But when you focus on the end result, then the client, then you're like, whoa, you can do a lot. Like, there's a lot going on here. That's really that's really what I want. So it's your responsibility as a partner or service provider. I hate the word service provider because you can be replaced as another service provider easily, right?
It's want to be their friend.
Yeah. So it's your responsibility to get the end result. What do they really want? And then build your offering in your partnership around what you really want. And now they're so committed and they really want it. And now you can come in at a bigger fee. So you come in at a bigger fee, you actually solve the real problem, and it's worth 10x multiples to them, and you're with them forever. So literally, we used to, like, overnight, this all hit home for me in like 2021, mid 2021.
Big growth space for you was 21, 22.
Yeah. Overnight, it all came together. So I was like, I was struggling to charge people like 2 or 3K a month. I was pushing big time for that. Like, I was really pushing for that, and I could never figure out how people are closing these deals for 8, 9, 10K a month. I could never. And then I. It's
understanding what you're providing, the value.
It's understanding the real problem that you're solving, and it's how you. But like, you don't build a business off the mechanism. You build a business off the end result. So McDonald's build their business off happiness. It's a Happy Meal. It's the Ronald McDonald. It's the clown thing. Like, the business is built off happiness. And then the food is the mechanism, right? It's the same way when you do that. Our business is built off example, making you more revenue, acquiring new customers, retaining those customers, overall profitability, while orchestrating everything from A to Z. They're like, I need that straight away, rather than I do Facebook ads. Like,
and I think a lot of people forget to really market and really present what they're providing that customer, or what they're providing, what their business is actually showcasing. Yeah. So you'll see, for people that are kind of lost, I guess, because it can get a bit confusing, if you see a really good personal trainer or online coach, the way you see that they're good online coaches is before and afters. Yeah. So that makes you sign up. Whereas if you just saw them training in the gym, you'd be like, oh, they're just a trainer. There's no like push for you to buy it. Yeah. Whereas if you see someone with a body that you really want, you're going to buy it at the end of the day. Even if it's 10K a month, 25K, 5K, it doesn't matter. You will buy it because that's how much you value yourself and you want it that much.
Exactly, yeah. And it's because it's the end result, right? It's the end result. And that it might not even be the body. The end result might be confidence. It might be feeling better. It might be saving your marriage. It could be anything, right? Sometimes it's not even, the end result is always a step deeper than you think. You know, it's like, why do you want that body? As they want. And then when you really ask the person and then really build your offering to suit them around their end result, that just changes the game for everybody. You know, that just changes the game. So it's the end result, and then it's also having the frame. So showcase them, okay, you have a system that can actually walk the walk and not just talk the talk like the rest of people. So you can actually come in and do the thing that you want to do.
And you can show them.
You
have the hidden calculation that no one can work out.
Exactly. And that just comes. So what I always say to people is, like, get it 80% right, and then have the remaining 20% forever in evolution. So just forever evolve that last 20%.
20% you fail, 80% you grow.
Exactly.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a really insightful chat, and it's great to see that you're now looking between Marbella and Dubai at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think people should, depending on where you are, I think you should come to Dubai to just get ahead, because you're just thrown in the deep end, and you'll pick up, and you'll think bigger, and you'll have bigger ideas, and you'll meet people who are doing bigger and better things. And but if you want to have a slow paced, have a croissant and a coffee in the morning while you watch the sun come up, go to Marbella, and you'll have an easier time.
Amazing. So. Well, thank you so much. It was lovely to have a chat.